So maybe when we left off with the last video, you were asking yourself, okay, why are we talking about this in May? How come we're not just waiting until school starts because that's when we'll have to start doing our notes? Yeah. See, the time when you have to start taking notes has actually already started. It started at the end of the Google Meet, and you weren't there, so you didn't know. See, APUSH, your homework in this class, is basically always just going to be reading out of this book. This is a screen capture of our textbook. I really don't have any idea when you're going to get them because of all this kind of crazy COVID stuff kind of keeping us from having an end of the year where you could easily turn your stuff in. So I don't even know when you're going to get it. But one thing to know about this book is that you might think you know what this book is called. You might look at this book and go, oh, by the people. That's what it's called. That's its title. And I didn't ask what the book's title is, I asked what the book is called. And it's basically a trick question. Because when you get to college, most college professors, when they're talking about the books for their class, they don't refer to the books by the title. They refer to the books by the author's name, specifically the author's last name. And so since this book was written by a guy whose last name is Fraser, that's what we call it. We're going to call this book Fraser all year long. And we're going to say, so the reading that you did in Fraser, blah, 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 blah. So, as a matter of fact, here's the news. This is basically your APUSH homework. It's just reading and taking notes, like almost every school night. Now, this will be mapped out for you in the Google Calendar that we're going to use here at school. And so as you take a look at, this is actually September 30th and October 1st and October 2nd, blah, blah, blah. This is an actual reading week that we had in APUSH last year. Well, you're going to see page numbers that you're going to have to read through for that night. And that'll tell you you're going to read these pages. Now, some of the pages end nice and cleanly by having the end of a paragraph be the end of a page. And when that's the case, you're going to see, like 186, just plain 186. That's probably too small for you to see. But anyway, that just means the page ends cleanly. If the page doesn't end cleanly, like it ends literally in the middle of a sentence, that's probably ending in the middle of a subject heading or a subheading. Remember those things that you have to write down as you take notes? So in those cases, I'll actually show you the subject heading where once you've finished that section, you can just stop. So in the particular case of that particular Wednesday, you're going through a page and the page finishes a section and then it gives you a subheading called Debt and Taxes, and that's just only like 2 paragraphs, and then it gives you another subheading but doesn't finish by the time the page runs out. Well, you don't have to start that new idea after Debt and Taxes until the next school night. I'm telling you where you can stop by identifying the subject heading that will be the last one. Now, if you're going, oh my God, I gotta read this stuff basically every school night, you said? Well, yes, but notice I said school night. So for example, that's a Friday. And if you can actually see the numbers of pages each night, it's roughly equal all the way across. So when it comes time for your weekend, I don't go, oh, so they've got all weekend to do their work, I'm going to pile on the reading. I give you the same amount of pages over a weekend that I give you on the school night. I'll give you the same amount of pages over a 3-day weekend that I give you on a school night. I'll give you the same amount of pages on a 4-day weekend. I'll give you the same amount of pages during Thanksgiving week. I'll give you the same amount of pages over spring break and even Christmas break. Just one night's worth of reading to do over that time. It's meant to keep you just in a pattern of having chunks of pages that you do every school night. That's basically the only homework I give you. So, what are the exceptions? That's what we're going to talk about in the next video.